Candidate A.
Okay, candidate A, you may start now.
Good morning to the examiners and my fellow friends. I believe that young people are considered lucky because they grew up in a time of peace and prosperity. Malaysia is considered as one of the most peaceful countries as we are free from war. There is no war between our country and other countries as we have a very good diplomatic relationship with other countries with the efforts of our government in bonding good relationships with other countries. Compared to the World War II era, our ancestors suffered a lot because of Japanese that conquered our country. The Japanese army are very violent and they torture a lot of people in Malaysia, and a lot of the women is sexual harassed. And during the British times, we do not have any human rights to speak out for ourselves. Everybody in Malaysia is treated as slaves and we have to serve for British. But we are lucky now to grow up in a time of peace because as other countries in Syria and Iran, a lot of wars occurs and a lot of casualties and deaths happen. Besides that, we also have a lot of natural resources that can bring prosperity to us, such as petroleum, natural gas. All of these can be exported to the other countries and bring a lot of income to our country.
Okay, stop. Okay, let's listen to candidate B. You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
Good evening to the examiners and my family. They're lucky because they have easy access to more information. First and foremost, nowadays young people in Malaysia can access more information by accessing to the internet. Students can discover many new things and obtain many new knowledges from the internet. For example, they can go to Google or Wikipedia when they face something they don't know in studies, so they can easily get more information and help them to learn in a more effective ways. This is also an alternative way for students to obtain more knowledge and information. Compared to the past, young people can only access information by reading newspaper, books and magazines. These reading materials are not updated, and so people who are reading this reading material do not know what is happening around the world, and they cannot get the latest information. Some people who came from a poor family cannot afford to go to school, so they don't have the opportunity to access to more information. Besides that, young people in Malaysia also consider lucky because they can access to more information through televisions and videos program. These television and radio program are free to access, and Malaysians can access to this program easily. For example, when they sitting in the car, they can turn on the radio and listen to a program and access to, and this helps them to access to more information.
Okay, stop. Okay, let's go to candidate C. You have 2 minutes. You may start now.
Good evening, the examiners and fellow candidates. I think the young people are considered lucky because the government has provided better facilities for sports and recreation. And first of all, I think that the
Okay, candidate C, start.
Good evening to the examiners and fellow candidates. I believe that young people are considered lucky because the government has provided better facilities for sports and recreation. First and foremost, I think the government has built stadiums and velodrome for sports like football, bicycle, badminton and swimming. And I think these kind of facilities bring much benefits to the peoples because they can have they can pay for it because the fees are cheap and they can rent for the badminton court to play. And the badminton court the government built is open even when it is holiday, and so that the youngsters can go for sports to spend the time. And it is big enough that there are almost 20 courts in it. So I think the government has made good effort in it. And with the stadiums and velodrome they are built, there are many competitions organized among the states and levels, and even the international ones, like the Commonwealth Games in 1998. Stadium Bukit Jalil has built for this event because Malaysia was the first time to be the host for international games. And I think after this, the government has made much more efforts in it by building more parks like Polo Ground, Deer Park in our house area. There are also many small parks.
Okay, stop.
This is the last one.
Let's go to candidate D. You can start now.
Good evening, teacher and my fellow candidates. I believe that young people are considered lucky because the education system has offered them more opportunities. In Malaysia today, for the young people, that they have the free education system. We can get the free educated in primary school until secondary school. For the poor family, we also can apply for the free textbooks to save more money. Besides, we also have the professional trained teacher to teach us. In Malaysia, we have 5 days in a week to study and it's more than 6 hours per day. Besides, we can learn many subjects like Chinese, English, Geography, Sejarah, Kemahiran Hidup. We also have the chance to choose our science stream or pure science stream or art stream to learn further our studies. Compared to the past, that we have the exam system like UPSR, PMR, PM and STPM. And now the government has always improved the system by changes the PMR to the PT3, and for the STPM for the Form 6 we got the lower 6 and upper 6, that we have the SAM system that has changes a lot. In Malaysia we have the many states that also have many schools, like for the SMJK or SMK or international school. You can choose yourself. You have the chances to have the English educated or the Chinese educated. And compared to other countries, in Malaysia, for the young people are considered lucky because we have a good environment to study. We have the books, we have the table and chairs. But compared to like Thailand or the Vietnam, they just have their study environment have without the roof.
Okay.
They just have around the wall.
Okay, stop.